What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Forza Motorsport 6. I had to think about that for a minute. I was like, what game am I playing? Anyway, we are moving on to the third volume of 5, which is the Grand Touring series. I'm excited. Grand Touring racing is awesome. So let's check it out. Let's see what they have to say. Oh, I first have to do my completion run. I forgot about that. I'd like that LaFerrari. Give me the LaFerrari. Ah, damn. I said I wanted that LaFerrari. I didn't get it. 25,000 creds. Not as much as I wanted, but it could have been, I don't know. Could have been worse. It could have been less than that. Guys got to remember that. They always do that. They give you money in a car. That LaFerrari would have been amazing to have.
These are the poster cars. The ones you had on your bedroom wall as a kid. Who knows? You might still have them on your wall. Because even if you're old enough to buy proper art in frames, it'll never look as good as the cars we have here. They're the ones we all dream of. The ones built in exotic places with top speeds and acceleration times that can literally take your breath away. Many of these cars are built with space-grade materials and push road car physics to the limits using race-derived technology. But even if you become immensely rich, you might still need to know the right people in the right places to be allowed to buy one. Others suit a more down-to-earth budget. But they all have a huge amount of power, and many will go way beyond 200 miles per hour.
So these are the big boys.
Very first auto races drove through fields, forests, and hilly countryside. The circuits in this series began as dirt roads and trails, evolving into exciting tracks with state-of-the-art race engineering.
All right. So we're going to take a look at all these cars before we jump in like usual. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So first, let's look at the Sport GT and see what they have to offer.
Meet the supercar killers. The cars that can hold their own against the world's most exotic machinery without sending your bank manager into cardiac arrest. With astonishing acceleration and enough grip to peel tarmac, they offer serious bang for your buck. And you might even see one in the real world, not just in music videos.
All right. So I already have a few of these cars. I didn't even realize. The Aston Martin V12 Vantage S. The Corvette Z06, I remember winning that. And when did I get this? The Nissan, when did I get the GTR? DLC. All right, let's see what we can purchase, though. The Corvette ZR1. The Jag XKR SGT. Oh, my God. This is the car that I love. Oh, my God. Anyway. Let's see what else. The Mercedes AMG GTS. The SRT Viper GTS. I already have this one. Obviously, this is DLC, new DLC here. Aston Martin V12 Zagato. God, these are expensive. That's an amazing car, too. The Corvette Z06. Okay, I already got that. Viper SRT 10 ACR from 2008. The GTR. Forza Viper GTS. So the same thing. This one's free, though. And the TVR Sagaris. This thing was pretty monstrous, but this might be a class I might take. Maybe roll in the Nissan GTR, the R35. All right, let's see what the exotic GTs are all about.
Fast, famous, rare, and expensive. These are the exotic GTs, the cars we gather around at motor shows, the ones with prancing horses and fighting bulls on their badges, machines with sharp edges and screaming engines that make you tingle. When these names are bounded around, the word supercar isn't far behind.
All right. So the 458 Italia from Ferrari, brilliant thing. God, there's so many different classes I want. I just won this recently, but we'll see what else we have. Aston Martin Vanquish. Oh, God, so good. The Aston Martin DBS. Lamborghini Huracan LP610. The McLaren 650S. The Aston Martin DBS, the regular version. The Audi R8 V10 Plus. Then the regular Audi R. So I do have I didn't even realize this. I could get my R8 V10. The 458 Speciale. This was one of those track day cars. The Ferrari Team Forza 458 Italia. Wow, this thing is free. Slower, but this has better braking. No, wait. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Anyway, the 430 Scuderia. The Challenge Stradale. So was this. This was also a track car. The Ford GT, the new one that we drove at the start of the game. The 05 Ford GT. The Lamborghini Huracan, the Team Forza edition. So I do have a bunch of free like cars. The Gallardo Superleggera. This thing is so good. The Lexus LFA. The McLaren 12C, so MP4-12C. The Benz SLS. And the Noble M600. This thing is pretty bonkers too. God, there's so many categories that I want to drive in. Let's see what happens. These are probably classics. Birth of the supercar.
If modern hypercars walked the rules of physics with space-grade technology, then early supercars did it with brute force. There were no fluffy bits in sight, no ABS, no traction control, and nowhere to hide when things got a bit crashy, which they often did. Fueled by the 80s banking boom and power-crazed brokers, these machines were raw, exhilarating, and astonishingly fast, even by today's standards.
Oh my God, the Jag XJ220. This, I want to race in a bunch of cars, but I would actually consider doing this so I could race this car. The Maserati MC12, the Nissan R390. Actually, I'm not too familiar with this car. The Saleen S7. I forgot about Saleen. Or Celine, or however you want to say it. The Bugatti EB110. People didn't know that Bugatti existed back then. But it did. It was a different name, but this is French. Anyway, Ferrari Enzo. Ferrari F50. Ferrari F40. Oh my God, the F40. Such a good car. Lamborghini Diablo SV. The McLaren F1 GT. Oh my God, it's just so expensive. McLaren F1. And the Benz AMG CLK GTR. Holy hell! These are good cars. This is crazy. This is like candy, bruh. Ultimate Grand Tour. Let's take a look.
Big V12s and room for designer luggage. The cars in this group will cross whole countries without even noticing. Then, when you arrive in Monaco, you can do a lap of the Grand Prix track before parking outside a posh hotel with all the other billionaires. This is what Grand Tourers are for, after all.
Let's take a look. So I've already been given the 599. It's a good car, but I'm not sure if I want it. I don't think I'll be driving it. Let's see what else we got, though. The Ferrari FF, which is kind of like a hatchback, in a way. Lamborghini Aventador. Lamborghini Murcielago 670-4 SV. The Last Hurrah. The Benz SL65 AMG Black. I would actually considering rolling with this thing just because I love it. I mean, it's not a very amazing car, but I love how it looks and I love how it, you know, it's just present. You know what I mean? Aston Martin 177. If I had won that, look how much it's worth. Holy shit. The Ferrari F12 Berlinetta. Insane power from this thing. Ferrari 599. The Lamborghini Reventon, which is really expensive. Like, this was just they only made like a couple of these, didn't they? The Benz SLR, also an amazing. God, there's so many cars I want to go in a series with. Modern hypercar, let's check it out.
They operate on the bleeding edge of physical possibility. Some are made in batches so small and at such dizzying expense that you have to be invited to buy one. Many combine batteries with petrol to make more power and use materials you'd usually find on a spaceship. All of which has led to a new ground-based space race and unfathomable top speeds. These aren't just the fastest cars of their time, they're the fastest cars ever.
And I already won the McLaren P1 in a roll, in like a, you know, so I can actually use this if I want. Well, let's see what else we get. There's probably not going to be a massive list, but the LaFerrari, the Hennessy Venom GT, fastest car in like a quarter mile, I think. The Forza P1, don't need that. I already won it, so I already had a P1. The Ultima GTR 720, the Bugatti Veyron Supersport, fucking monstrous. Koenigsegg Agera, Lamborghini Veneno. God damn, the P1. Pagani Huayra. Pagani Sync. Like, I want to drive all of them! Oh my god, okay. Well, let's look at the vintage touring.
For speed junkies born before base jumping and energy drinks were invented, motorsport was one of the only ways to get their fix. Many were combat veterans from World War II, the top guns of their era, who sought new ways to batter the enemy. And so they raced monstrously powerful lightweight contraptions with no seatbelts, which were probably more terrifying than the fighter planes they flew in the war.
Oh man, these are the classics. They're not very fast though. But you got the Aston Martin DB5, the Chevy Corvette from '53, the Jag XK120. Wow, that's a pretty looking thing, isn't it? The Lotus 11, the Ferrari Dino 246, the Ferrari 250 GT Berlinetta, the Ferrari 250 California, one of the more rare cars in the world from '57, Ferrari 500. The Fiat 8V Supersonic, the Jag E-Type, and the Benz 300 SL with the gull-wing doors. These are awesome, but I don't think I'm going to go in one. So that showcases the cars. I got to pick this up. I don't know what to choose. I really have no fucking clue, man. I got to think about this. I can only pick 3. Really, I can only pick 3 of these. So we're going to have to think long and hard, and we'll get back.